reporting from the David J. Bloom Broadcast Suite.
This edition of the Stuart Scoop is brought to you by the 6th grade.
We have so much to share with you that we will be sending our broadcast out in 2 parts.
Throughout the broadcast, look for our goals in action.
Goals in action? What's that?
That is when one of our reporters, Zoe, Bonnie, or Arabella, will explain how we are living out our mission and goals at Sacred Heart as witnessed in some of our segments.
To start off our broadcast, we are so lucky to be able to talk with Mr. Baber about his thoughts and ideas for the school.
Let's go to Mackenzie and Genevieve to see what Mr. Baber had to say.
I'm Genevieve.
And I'm Mackenzie.
And today we're truly excited to be accompanied by our school president, Mr. Baber.
Thank you for having us.
Glad you're here. Welcome, ladies.
To start off, for our first question, where did you grow up?
I was born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right near one of our schools. It used to be called Eden Hill. It was a wonderful Sacred Heart school that had come and gone by the time I was growing up, but I heard stories about it from my English teacher, right in Philadelphia.
As middle school students, we are very interested to know what your top 3 plans are that will have the biggest impact on our middle school.
Well, I think, first of all, it's not really unique to the middle school, but it is particular to the middle school. I want middle school girls to fall in love with a particular thing that they experience in the middle school. It may be science, it may be math, it may be broadcast journalism. It may also be on the field, whether it's lacrosse or field hockey. It could even be ice hockey in the high school later on. But most importantly, if you fall in love with something even on the stage, you find your voice. That's the number one thing, is that I want to create a culture and climate in the middle school where girls find and experiment with things that they end up loving, or they walk away thinking, I wanted to try that, I'm glad I tried it, but now I'm going to try something else. That would be my hope for the middle school. The other thing is I hope to give middle school girls an experience of what it means to be a spiritual person. Whether we practice espacio, or you come to understand the spirituality of giving to the other person who may be in need, that would be very important. And at the end of the day, one of my goals is that the middle school girls will talk so much about the joyful experience it is at Sacred Heart in the middle school that they'll tell all their friends, and more will come to be children of the Sacred Heart here at 1177 King Street.
What is your favorite item on the lunch menu?
Oh gosh, my favorite item on the lunch. Well, I do love the chocolate milk, I have to say. I've always been a big fan of the muffins. Blueberry muffins are my favorite. And then when I go into the dining room, I usually have tuna salad with some of those wonderful green, is it edamame?
Yeah.
Yeah, with edamame.
What is your favorite thing about Sacred Heart Greenwich and why?
Wow. I would have to say the families that join this community are my favorite thing. Getting to know students and their families is a powerful experience of understanding what the gift Sacred Heart education is. So you may know, I'm married to an alum, and I see the good things that can happen. I've come to know students over the years and the good things that can happen in the life of a student because of Sacred Heart. That would be my experience and my hopeful thing.
What's your favorite goal?
Wow, what's my favorite goal? That's a tough one. I would have to say it's goal 1 or it's goal 5. And I would say goal 1 first because if I love God, then I want to learn, I want to build community, I want to do just things, and I want to get wise and wisdom. But if I looked at goal 5 as one of my favorite, about wisdom, if a person's truly wise, they're going to try to live the other 4 goals too. But at the end of the day, I think they're all important. But since you asked the question, that's my answer.
Describe your favorite Sacred Heart tradition.
Well, it has 5 letters. The last letter is E. The first letter is C. What do you think it is?
Conjay.
Conjay. Of course it is. How can you not love Conjay? It's unexpected. It's a Sacred Heart tradition. We've been doing it for centuries, and it's known across the globe as a Sacred Heart tradition. You don't get that at other schools. So other schools may have snow days or professional development days off for the faculty and students. But who else has Conjay but us?
Since you're the president of Sacred Heart, it comes with duties. Can you describe a typical school day?
So my typical school day, if it goes well, I wake up at 5:15 and I run. And I run for 30 minutes to clear my mind and my head. I say my morning prayers, I make the dedication of my day, and then I'm hopefully at my desk by 7. And then I begin to sort of do what I do, which is make decisions. Sometimes there are committee works, and they build consensus, they have ideas, they have recommendations, and at the end of the day, I help them make the best decision to advance the mission of Sacred Heart education. I don't often make spontaneous decisions. I try to think about things, reflect. I try to look at the whole. But every decision at the end of the day has you in mind and you in mind, because I want to make sure my decisions increase the wonderful experience that you have here as students.
Our sixth grade theme this year is Be Aware. Do you think this theme is important for sixth graders?
I think it is. To be aware of who you are, to be aware of who your friends are, to be aware of what you value the most, and to be aware of what motivates you to continue to grow. I think it's a great theme. Be aware.
What are some similarities and differences of this Sacred Heart and the previous Sacred Hearts you've worked at?
That's a great question, too. You know, we're in 41 countries. We have 25 schools in North America. We all have one mission. I would say the goals, those 5 priorities of faith, intellect, justice, community, and wisdom, that's what unites us across the globe. But one of the differences are that we're a very old school. We go back to 1848. So there are a couple schools that may be a little older than us, but if every year we get better and better, I'd say that's one of the unique things about Sacred Heart Greenwich, is we have a special pride of place in excellence of Sacred Heart education. So that would be a unique thing. Not only this campus and the beauty of it, but the generations of girls and young women who have come in the doors as eager young learners and then go out to transform the world on graduation day is a really powerful Greenwich experience.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us and letting us get to know you.
Well, thanks for being here. You're always welcome.
It was so interesting to hear what Mr. Baber had to say.
Mr. Baber said he loves muffins. I think they're amazing too.
Me too.
We have been so lucky to enjoy some snow days this year.
Yes, we are so lucky these days. Not everyone gets to enjoy snow days. They have to go back to school on Zoom.
I think snow days should not be on Zoom.
Same. But let's hear what our teachers have to say.
There's been a debate about snow days. Should there be snow days or should there just be Zoom? Many people say it's an iconic part of childhood, and it's also mentioned in the iconic movie Elf.
On the other hand, many people believe that we should keep learning on Zoom because missing days may offset the balance of people's weeks. We asked some teachers what they think about snow days versus Zoom days. This is Mrs. Stein and I'm Lulu. Do you think we should have Zoom on snow days, and why or why not?
Absolutely not. I think that, especially for elementary school students, that a snow day is the perfect opportunity for them to get outside and learn about nature and do all sorts of fun activities.
This is Mr. Blake. Do you think we should have Zoom on snow days, and why or why not?
Maybe students could have slightly shortened classes and then could maybe be done by noon, and if students choose to spend the rest of that time outside, which I think teachers might recommend, then students would be able to do some learning in the morning, finish around noon or so, finish midday, and then use the rest of that time for themselves.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, and this is Miss Johnson. Do you think snow days should be on Zoom, or do you think they should just let the kids have the day off?
Well, if it's like a day and say it's Friday, I think you should have the day off. But if it's like a Monday and it's going into 1, 2, or 3 days, then I think it should be on Zoom.
Okay. Hello, and this is Mr. Maida. And do you think we should have snow days on Zoom or not?
I do not think we should have snow days on Zoom. I think we should get the day off.
I think so too.
Hi, my name is Zoe, and I'm here to talk about the goals in action. I think that Goal 5 fits this segment about snow days because we as students are using our wise freedom to go outside, play in the snow, instead of going on Zoom, watching TV, or playing video games. Instead, we can go outside, make snowmen, or sled with our friends.
Whoa, I love hearing your teacher's point of view on snow days.
Me too. It was so interesting, and they have a good point. If there are too many snow days, maybe we should have school on Zoom.
Well, let's hope we don't have to find out. And thanks, Zoe, for your insight with goals in action.
Do you ever wonder what goes into making lunch for faculty, students, and staff every day?
Honestly, I haven't really thought about it, but I definitely enjoy the variety of options offered for lunch.
Lily and Penelope spoke with Chef Gold to get the inside scoop about what goes on behind the scenes in the cafeteria.
Let's see what they learned.
Hi, my name is Lily and my name is Penelope. Today we're going to be interviewing Chef Gold. Chef Gold, thank you for talking to us.
Absolutely.
We're very excited to learn about behind the scenes of the cafeteria with you. Today we have a series of questions, but my first question is, what is your favorite ingredient?
Fresh food, fresh ingredients, and bright smiles.
That's nice. How long does it take to prepare lunch each day, and how do you prepare it?
Well, everything is prepared from scratch. It takes about 6 to 8 hours every day, because we also have to serve you guys lunch as well. So every day we're continually doing more and more for the next day as well. So to put a time on it, I would say 6 hours. Between 6 and 8 hours.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
What's your favorite lunch to eat?
My favorite lunch to eat is I love pasta day.
So do I.
Same, very
So,
good.
and also, what's your favorite lunch that you cook?
My favorite lunch that I cook? Well, I'm the king of the barbecue in my house, so I like to do barbecue, so that's why I see barbecue items at the school. So I'm hoping this spring we can do a little bit more of that.
No, I had barbecue too. Yeah. How many people does it take to make lunch each day?
I got 10 employees.
That's a lot of people. And lastly, what's your favorite part of the job?
My favorite part of the job is serving the students, faculty, and the staff.
So thank you, Chef Gold, for letting us talk to you today. It was very nice that you took your time.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate you having us on the show today, and we really appreciate you taking your time each day for 5 days a week to make our lunch.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
now.
Wow, they work so hard to make us lunch every day.
I have never seen the inside of the kitchen. That was so interesting.
I can't wait to thank Chef Gold the next time I see him for all of his hard work.
Well, we've talked long enough. That's it for part 1.
Still to come next week, Bear Buddies, the transition from lower to middle school and middle to high school.
And don't forget teacher recommendations for movies and TV shows.
Stay tuned for next week when part 2 will be sent out.